everybody, it's your boy Thing Ghost TGTV back again for another video. You already know what time it is. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff for Invincible content like this. Today I'm going to be talking about Invincible season 3 episode 6. This episode was amazing. I'm not even gonna lie, it was so good. Self-contained story. The voice acting was crazy on point. Aaron Paul, this dude, every time I see him, he acts his ass off. This dude knows how to do strong, emotional, like, bruh just be pulling this shit from the soles of his feet. Like, this guy knows how to just make you feel the anguish, the pain, the emotion that he's going through with every role that he does. I fell in love with him as Jesse in Breaking Bad, as I'm sure a lot of you know him from that. So when I heard that he was going to be voice acting for Powerplex and Invincible, I was super excited. I don't really know him as a voice actor as much as I know him as an on-screen actor, so it's interesting for me to see how they were going to adapt the whole Powerplex story and the origin of the villain and everything. He did an amazing job. Like, Jesus, man. Like, this man was acting like the rent was due. Like, bro, this dude, Aaron Paul, get this man in the booth more. He need more work. Whatever extra stuff y'all could put in the show for Powerplex, please do it. Now, I'll be one of the first to say that I actually don't, like, just off the top of my head, I don't even really remember the Powerplex, like, story as much as I do other stuff that happened in Invincible. The only thing that stood out that I just remember like that is the end of it, which is how the episode ended. You know, like when he accidentally fried his wife and his son or daughter, whichever one. I think it was his son. But yeah, like when he accidentally killed them in trying to kill Invincible. Like, I remember that from the comic, and I remember when I read it like years ago, I was like, oh my God. Like, I still remember how I was back there. So it didn't really shock me watching it, but it was done so well. Like, this whole episode, like, don't get me wrong, Invincible was in it, Oliver was in it, Adam Eve was in it, Rex was in it, you know what I'm saying? Like, the robot was in it, Monster Girl was in it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the usual suspects. Like, everybody was in this motherfucker, or at least almost everybody. But bro, this was a Powerplex episode, man. Like, this episode was all Aaron Paul. And then what I love about it is just the episode itself. It was paced so well. Like, this whole episode was a story in itself. Like, it was a self-contained story. Everything, like, it was just so nicely put together. It fit like a glove. Like, this episode was so good. In my opinion, it was probably the best episode of the season so far. Now, it's not gonna hold that title for long, because the way this episode ended and how they setting up the Invincible War in the next episode, oh shit, we are in for some good stuff. And the way this season is going to end, oh my goodness, I'm so excited, bro. I can't fucking wait. I can't wait, bro. Had to come out the fucking head in the do-rag, man. Damn, I can't wait. Ooh, we about to get Conquest, y'all. I'm gonna make a video talking about this fan animated fight. A fan animated the Conquest fight himself with his own animation style, and it's very well done. I will be making a video about that, you know, just to further hype up the Conquest fight. And also, I want to go back through the season before this final episode and do like a comparison between the comic and what happened in the show in these episodes. So I got a few things in the works to get some videos out back to back, you know, leading up to the finale, and also some ideas I'm trying to come up with to float us through to the next season, you know what I'm saying? So it's some stuff on the way. But this episode right here, back to the glazing of Powerplex and Aaron Paul. Like, you understand his motivations so much. You can feel it, you see it. It's similar to how they showed you the whole Superman thing from the perspective of Bruce Wayne when he was fighting Zod and destroyed so much of Metropolis. It was similar to that. You got to see it from from the perspective of Powerplex when Chicago was going through that whole ordeal, when Omni-Man and Mark was fighting each other. And if you can remember the detail, the attention to detail that they put, if you can remember the woman that he tried to save, who also had a daughter, in that building when he was fighting his dad, and he was trying so hard to save both of them, but he just wasn't strong enough, and they ended up turning into jelly, and all that he had left was holding the remains of her arm when he came out the debris of that building that crumbled to nothingness. That was his sister and his niece, who he loved very much. His sister actually raised him when their parents died, and yeah, he adores his sister, he adores his niece, very close to them, meant the world to them. And Invincible, in his fight to try to stop his dad, unfortunately, they became part of the collateral damage, and this is what sends Powerplex down this revenge-fueled rage. Like, he just has to make Invincible pay, face consequences. He wants Invincible to get he wants some justice, and he feels like Invincible's getting off too easy. The district attorney doesn't even want to hear him out. His complaints, he has signatures. You can tell, like, he's been working hard. He's been talking to other people that have lost others, who's been affected by the incident. This guy, he's desperate to try to do something to get Invincible to pay for his crimes. And you can also see that as a regular guy, he just sees things from a different perspective. He's not really a super villain or nothing like that, but like I say, you gradually see the change of how he's just this unfortunate soul who's mourning the loss of two people that he really cares about, and how that sends him in a downward spiral to turn into this supervillain called Powerplex, who has very cool and unique powers, I might add. It's kind of like this kinetic electricity energy, where every time he gets hit, he can hold in more electrical force that he can then shoot back out. And they have these prototype containment units that can actually hold on to the electricity to allow him to be able to contain more and shoot more out in a more strong way. They have that, and he is actually an employee at the GDA. And he ends up taking this technology. So this might have been his plan the whole time, to become an employee at a GDA so that he could, study Invincible, learn everything he can about his movements, how he fights, stuff like that, and potentially find some way to enhance his own abilities so he can become strong enough to take him on himself, because that's exactly what he ends up doing. His wife, very supportive, a little crazy, but you can understand the mental stress and trauma, and just like how their lives were uprooted when they lost two people that they adored and really felt the world about and really cared about. And you can see what grief and loss can do to someone, especially with how good this acting is. I can't glaze it enough, bro. Aaron Paul, man, the guy needs an award just for this one episode. Like, the dude was... He was on 10, bro. 10 out of 10. Just his performance alone, 10 out of 10. If I was giving the episode a score right now, I'd probably just give it a 9.5 out of 10, bro. Like I said, all the other characters, they was there. They had good moments, good little interactions, character development. Rexplode, they continue to twist the knife. For people who know the comics, bruh, I swear, man, like, I like, oh my goodness, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for next week, bro. Like, I hope they make some changes. Maybe, I don't know, like, because they are really setting this shit up to be one of the most painful, saddest occurrences that could happen in recent memory. And then the finale is going to be so hard if they adapt it right. Like, bro, people are going to be talking about this season all the way until the next one starts. And I done heard people talking about, I don't really like this season like that. All right, let's see if y'all still talking like that when when these next two episodes drop, man. Like, oh my goodness, bro. Just like, and then also Invincible, just seeing his take on everything, like how he's learning more and more how to be a hero from the emotional standpoint of everything. It's not just a physical thing. It's not just punch bad guys in the face. He never even really considered the amount of loss. Like, he knew, and of course he knew, but like he said in the episode, he just kind of focused on the lives that he could save and not continuously worry about the ones that he couldn't, because if he did that, he wouldn't be able to move forward. But this episode forces him to go back and do like a little retrospective and think back to that whole event that happened between him and his father, to think about the people that lost their lives due to him fighting against his father. And it's just a very poignant episode that just highlights a lot of things that are realistic in the world of being a superhero, which is kind of ironic because being a superhero ain't even realistic in the first goddamn place. But it felt very real, very raw, very genuine. Just a lot of things I could say described in this episode, but all good. Like, this was very, like I say, best episode of the season so far, in my opinion. Hopefully I'm wrong, because I'm so excited for those next 2 episodes, and it can only go up from here if they adapt things properly. But from what I'm seeing and from what I've already seen previously, I have high hopes. I'm super excited. The way they ended this episode, the cliffhanger revealing Angstrom Levi, revealing the other Invincibles from various dimensions, and how he said this will do straight out of the comics. Like, oh God, this episode coming up. Like, I wonder, I don't want to put too much of the speculation of the next episode in this video because that's a topic of its own video. But yeah, this episode was amazing. 9.5 out of 10. Aaron Paul knocked it out of the park. Seeing Invincible go through different stages of growth of being a hero, seeing Powerplex become a villain, and all the stages of grief that he go through, that crazy ending, Rexplode and the conversation that he has with Shrinking-Way, what Robot did to help out Monster Girl. Just so many good moments in this episode, and I really enjoyed it all the way through. So let me know what you guys think about this episode. Are you excited for what's to come? And if you guys want me to break down and talk about anything else, any ideas for future videos, please don't hesitate to let me know. Comment, like, share, subscribe, and until next time, guys, peace out.